Hello everybody, welcome to MNB World Talk Scoop. So this time we have invited one of the best representatives of IT sector who has working experience at Amazon. Currently he works as CEO at Nest Academy, Mr. Shagai Nyamdorj. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. First of all, I'm really interested in your career. So you received here your bachelor's degree, and then you received your master's degree also in the USA, right?
Yeah.
And could you please share with us with your road to Amazon?
Yeah, so I have graduated my high school on 2006 and started studying in Mongolia to pursue my bachelor degree, and eventually started to pursue my master degree in the USA in 2011. And meanwhile, I was doing my master's degree. I started working at the banking sector in USA as a software engineer while I'm doing master's. And I worked in that company, same company, in 3 years. Then during that time, I was also trying to join in bigger tech companies such as Amazon, and tried 5 times on interviews and failed almost 100 times on the interview. So eventually in 2015, I have get an offer from Amazon and decided to join Amazon in 2015. So that's how I get in Amazon in short.
So what would you suggest to young generation to join Amazon maybe or other big companies?
So usually Mongolian youth or the new generation, they are good at learning a hard skill such as coding and algorithms. They are really good usually, but things we are lack is from Mongolians usually lack is how to communicate in American way or international way, express themselves, mostly soft skills, because I have learned in a hard way, failed multiple times, because I was thinking if I can do coding or like algorithm very good, they need to hire me, but eventually almost everyone who is getting on an interview can do coding and algorithms, but most of them cannot express themselves or what they're doing, how they're doing. That was the mostly missing skill we have.
Okay, thank you. Now I would like to introduce you to our viewers a little bit more. Okay, let's take a look. And in which sector did you work at Amazon and how long?
So I have worked at Amazon almost 3.5 years. So mainly on a marketplace, which is a section of Amazon which is mostly focused on people who is selling item on Amazon. So I was mostly focusing on logistics, which is somebody trying to purchase stuff from Amazon, and usually they try to send the sellers trying to send their product to the actual end customer, and they were using our software and solution to deliver their product from their warehouse to actual end user. So that was the software I was focusing on the Amazon.
And could you please share with us with the most interesting, maybe funny story while you were working there in Amazon? Yeah, something. Or any curious, maybe? The most maybe interesting or maybe challenging thing?
Maybe projects I have worked on. The project I was working on is mainly I led a project which is a one-click buy shipping. So which is a project about usually warehouse people when they're trying to send their package from their warehouse to actual customer, they need to fill out multiple forms in our software, which usually takes 4 minutes. So my task was reduce that time to 1 click with the 1 click. So eventually that project achieved 11 seconds the the warehouse people, they can purchase those shipping service in 11 seconds from the 4 to 6 minutes. So that was the main challenge I have solved while I was in Amazon.
And what about the most challenging position that you had worked in?
Most challenging, I think, coordinating a multiple team at the Amazon sometimes really challenge because there is multiple stakeholders. Everybody needs to be agreed on. So making the huge audience agree on one idea is huge difficulties. So for that reason, I need to talk and express and market my ideas to multiple people. So that way I learned how to express my ideas and sell my ideas at Amazon, which is really great opportunity working at Amazon. So also I have learned multiple things from my managers. They always do mentoring, how to sell my ideas or to agree on something very critical. So.
And what personal qualities did you gain while you were working abroad?
I think
Maybe skills.
I have learned more diverse perspective because working in multiple national people is give you trying to understand things from the different angles. That was the main skill I have learned. Also the flexibility, discipline. Those are the skills I have learned and while I was working at.
Time management, maybe.
Yeah, time management. I think I learned from Japanese. I was in Japan around 8 months. So, on top of that, most of the Mongolians lacking on one big skill, which is to try to create new ideas or ideas they have, pursue them, selling them. Because most of the current education system in Mongolian has usually they prepare the kids who can execute things with the instructions.
Right.
But when you go to different countries outside of Mongolia, you need to think about your idea and how to execute them, how to express them, and align with the others or build a team is very necessary qualities or skills you need to have succeed in international. That's the skills I was trying to teach the younger generation in Mongolia.
I would like to introduce your office to our viewers. Shall we?
Okay, so here is Nest Academy, founder of Nest Academy. So we teach kids coding and user experience, and kids attend our academy as an after-school program. So they spend 15 hours in a week, and they will learn all the skills needs to be learned for building applications, mobile applications, and cloud enterprise applications. So on top of that, they will also learn basics of user experience and user interface. Now we have 32 full-time employees, on which 25 of them is experienced engineers. They have around 10 to 5 years industry experience. I usually spend most of time to help and mentor the teachers or masters, those for our schools. Those masters and teachers are going to train our next generation in Nest Academies. That's most of the time what I do here, and also helping our managers to operate our daily operation. So our goal is trying to build a successful Mongolia, which is everybody happy living in the same city or same country. So for example, I think I should bring an example. When I was young, our parents used to work in outside of Mongolia, usually Korea or USA, and most of the time they sacrificed their life to build our future or my generation better life. So I think now I'm spending my time to build for a next generation of our country. So I think that's my vision. At the same time, it's aligning with what Nest Academy imagining for because once we have world-class engineers in Mongolia, we can create significant companies that can diversify our income from outside, not only depending on mining. That's what we're planning, and we have a plan, and that's what we're executing right now.
And how many years did you learn and study abroad? And why did you decide to come back to Mongolia?
So yeah, in 2017 there was a chance we can hire people directly from Mongolia, and I was preparing Mongolian engineers to join at Amazon, and I have prepared around 80 resumes, and most of them didn't get into the Amazon, and I was thinking that what's missing, and I tried to coach people who was working at Mongolian, and it's really hard to me coach those people already have a working experience in Mongolia to turning them into international or world-class engineers. So that's why I have decided I can teach the younger generation much easier, much faster way. That's why I decided to open Nest Academy at Mongolia.
In 2018, right?
Yeah.
So, and why did you decide to name it like that, Nest Academy?
So Nest Academy it's a bird nest. So those are the kids we can prepare and nurture them to help them to fly in the world to succeed. So that's the main idea about Nest. And Academy is we teaching them how to succeed and fly, achieve their success in the world. So.
So, and how many children now study there?
So now we have around 220 kids studying and full time, and 32 staff full time. We have our kids mostly learning how to build software, also how to design software, all those things. On top of that, we also teach them soft skills that necessary to express themselves. Also working in a team and attitude, culture, all those things we also at the same time learning at Nest Academy. Yeah, Nest Academy, the mission we have is we're going to train 10,000 world-class engineers. Once we have 10,000 world-class engineers, if we can prepare 10,000 engineers in Mongolia, I think all the big tech companies will interest into coming into Mongolia, hiring or opening an office. That eventually our kids will learn their technology, adopt them. Eventually they can create their own technology in Mongolia, and then we want to bring a large investment from outside of Mongolia. That way we can diversify our income, not depending on just the mining. So that's the main mission we have. That's why we are trying our hard to do those things, because if you see why there is a successful companies exist in USA, Silicon Valley, reason there is they have a huge talent pool and good schools. That's why they can hire best engineers in the world. If you have best engineers in the world, they can build the magics, turn your ideas and imaginations into reality. Because in 5-6 years ago, traveling in a space was a magic or imagination. Now SpaceX can do in the Silicon Valley. Why? Because they have best engineers and they can build those successful launch or rockets. So same idea. We need to train all those engineers in Mongolia. That way we can attract the big successful companies, or we can create those successful companies in the Mongolia.
And what opportunities your academy opens for children?
Because we are preparing the base, because if you don't have a good engineers, there is no way we can build a successful company in the world. Because best engineers can solve difficult problems. If you solve a difficult problem, which is a success, we can create, or like financially, for everything.
And what weak points can you name? Can you see in IT sector of Mongolia?
Again, very few kids is choosing this computer science or
Right.
technical engineering major. Most of them choosing a different financial or like law. I think we have enough of those workforce,
Right.
but we are lacking at those engineers. And even those kids who's choosing engineers, they don't have a necessary skills. They can't acquire the necessary skills to the current education system we have. So
What hobby do you have?
yeah, usually so after work I try to meditate or try to learn the nature of my existence. So I think it's mostly spiritual thing I try to, because I always have like thought or ideas, curious about why are we living here, like what's going to happen when we die.
The meaning of life.
All those questions is always bothering me since I was in high school. That's why I try to learn and try to read from the books and try to be more spiritual. What's the beyond my existence, all those things. Like we have 5 senses, but beyond their 5 senses, what can we feel? All those questions bother me. So that's why I try to spend most of the time to learning about those things. When I was like working at Mongolia, then start to pursue my master's degree. It was a school in the countryside, very chill and pleasant place. When you come to that kind of place, I felt very peaceful, because in the Mongolia it's a traffic jam, everybody like angry to each other. But
Yeah.
once I come to that same atmosphere in the USA, every people was like happy, smiling to each other, so very peaceful, and yeah, that gave me a peace on my life. Once you become very peace, then there is all of a sudden there is happiness coming from your inside. Once you are very happy, then you can become very loving to everything, appreciate everything you have. So that's opened my eyes in the USA.
Thankful.
Yeah. Every moment of your life is happiness and love. So that's
Wow.
why I researching this. Nature of my existence is a happiness or loving.
Wow. That's so deep. Yeah. We have a small part with your hobby. Let's take a look.
Yeah, it's not all about philosophy. So my hobby is interested in the nature of the world or existence to learn about this. So most of the time I read or listen the audiobook to learn about nature of existence and the purpose of the life. So that's usually I spend my time, and also with my family. And lately I spending my time to starting read about the book about sound of silence. What's my purpose of life? Why are we here? So I think it's a very difficult question to answer. That's the answer I'm looking for my since from my childhood life, because it's always bothering me what's the goal of the life, what's the nature of the life, why are we here, and where we are going to be once we die. Most interesting book. There's many books I really like, but I really enjoyed the book about Beyond and Beyond, which is thinks about the beyond our sensors, 5 senses we have, and what's the beyond of our existence. On that book, explaining or teachings how to be reach on those existence and how to feel the sense of beyond our existence. The book name is Beyond and Beyond. I think first we need to verify who is me. The body I have is me, or the things I'm thinking, thoughts are me, or emotions are me, or senses I'm feeling is me. I'm questioning all those things. And that's the clarity and the vision I got it from the books and experiments I do on the meditation. Do you do meditation? I think first we need to understand what's meditation. In my understanding, meditation is getting a distance from your mind and body and the feeling. That's what I'm trying to do on every day or every morning, 5 to 10 minutes. I think a knowledge is also a different thing. You only can do experience and feel the benefits of the meditation by exercising. Without exercising, it's just mentally understanding. It's a totally different experience you can do by practicing it. And that's why I recommend practicing instead of just reading and understanding.
Okay, and how do you spend your free time with your family?
So I usually try to be with my family because I was very busy most of the weekdays, so I try to reserve weekends with my family, do hiking or family activities. That will also help to educate my kids too, because best parenting is, I believe in the idea, best parenting is parenting yourself, and that will reflect on my kids. So that's what I was trying to do my own.
So after, when you created your own family, right, did you feel yourself more, happier than before?
Yeah, family always bring happiness, and peaceful and happy families always create love to each other. So if there is a love, there is no conflict. So that's my philosophy on my family life. So.
Wow. And my last question will be about your goals for the future. Or do you have a dream?
Yes. So as I mentioned before, peaceful environment creates happy people. So I want to create a peaceful Ulaanbaatar or peaceful Mongolia. How can we do that? Is we can improve the people's life and reduce those chaos that can create the peace in Mongolia, that can generate this happiness in Mongolia. If there is happiness in all over the place in Mongolia, we will love each other, and there is happy and loving place. That's my goal. Reason I'm doing that is if we can diversify our income, we can generate very efficient city in Mongolia, in Ulaanbaatar, that can generate a peaceful city, which will generate a happy younger generation, which will loving nation we have.
Thank you very much for your coming and for your time.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for people who's watching my interview.
Okay. Thank you. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Wish you all the best for everyone.
Today we had CEO of Nest Academy, Mr. Shagai Nyamdorj. We will see you next time. Until that, please stay safe and thank you.